Be joyful in hope. Be joyful in hope. Be joy, 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 joyful. Be patient in affliction. Be patient in affliction. Be patient, patient in affliction. Be faithful, be faithful, be faithful in prayer. Be faithful, be faithful, be faithful in prayer. Open up God's word yourself. It says in